Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll share how I managed to increase the size of the leaves on my Alocasia Regal Shield indoors. I'll show you how to enlarge the leaves from this size to this size. If you haven't watched my previous video on the essential care tips for Alocasia Regal Shield, there is a link in the description. In that video, I explain all the care requirements in detail. This video is an update 1 year later. So let's get started. Alocasia Regal Shield is known for its stunning dark green leaves with prominent veins originating from Southeast Asia. It is a tropical plant that thrives in warm, humid environments, making it a bit challenging to grow indoors, but incredibly rewarding. I'll start with watering needs. I found out that Alocasia Regal Shield needs more water than other Alocasias. Even though she is in a big pot, she is a very thirsty plant. This makes sense because the large leaves require more water and nutrients. So I suggest checking the soil more often to see how quickly it's drying. If the top 2 inches of the soil feel dry to the touch, then it's time for watering. Be sure to give her a good amount of water, but remove any excess afterward. Soaking her for about 15 minutes is a good idea, as it will prolong the time until the next watering. This allows the entire soil to become wet and dry out slower. This is the best way if you plan to go away for a week. Showering is another great method of watering with similar results to soaking. I usually water her twice per week, once with fertilizer and once with just water. I soak or shower her once every 2 months. I keep her in front of a north-facing window which captures some morning sun from the east for about an hour. Consistent light is crucial for Alocasias to grow large leaves, but too much direct sunlight can scorch them. So I suggest bright indirect light. It's also important to rotate the plant regularly to ensure even growth and prevent her from leaning towards the light. I usually rotate her once per week as she starts leaning towards the windows. This gives her even light to all leaves, prevents stem breakage, and makes her look upright, straight, and bushier. Over the 4 years, she has bloomed 3 times. Each time after blooming, she goes through a period of stagnation where she doesn't produce new leaves. This is quite normal for Alocasias, as they tend to focus their energy on recovery after flowering. So if your Alocasia is blooming, give her some time to recover. Now let's talk about repotting and soil mix. It's good to repot or change the soil of Alocasia every year. This helps to remove any mineral buildup from fertilizer that can accumulate in the soil over time, which can prevent the roots from thriving. Refreshing the soil provides a healthier environment for the plant. After the last bloom, I decided to refresh her soil because she had been in the same pot for about a year and a half. I didn't change the pot size since it was already big enough. Instead, I removed the old soil without disturbing the roots too much and repotted her with a fresh aeroid mix that I make myself. I use this mix for all of my aeroids and calatheas. If you are interested in how I prepare it, I'll leave a link in the description. Alocasias thrive best in well-draining and nutrient-rich soil, so the mixture I prepare is exactly what she needs, a chunky mixture. During repotting, keep an eye out for corms so you can easily propagate this beauty. I found a few and now these are her babies. About a month after repotting, she produced a new leaf, but it was very small. This was expected because the plant had been stressed from blooming, repotting, and dividing the corms. I didn't fertilize for about a month after repotting to let her recover. During this period, I'd kept the soil consistently moist but not waterlogged and maintained high humidity by using a humidifier. After this recovery period, I started fertilizing more frequently, about every other watering. This led to the plant producing new leaves, each larger than the last. Fertilizing is also a very important aspect for alocasias, as they are heavy feeders and need a lot of nutrients to produce new leaves. I use a liquid fertilizer for green leaves, diluted to half of the prescribed dose. When fertilizing, it's always advisable to first water with plain water before adding fertilizer. This prevents root burn, as dry roots can be damaged by the fertilizer. I also use an organic fertilizer that I make from lentils once a month. This homemade fertilizer provides quality nutrients, and I've noticed that the leaves become larger. If you would like to learn how to make it, there is a video link in the description. Another important factor is humidity. They love humid environments, so I keep a humidifier nearby and mist the leaves occasionally. Dealing with pests is another challenge. Spider mites and aphids can be a common, so I often inspect the leaves and use neem oil. I explain all these essential care tips in my previous video. Finally, patience and consistency are vital. Alocasias can be slow growers until you find the right care requirements. Once you do, you will notice how fast they grow with more beautiful and larger leaves. So after repotting with my aerate mix, increasing fertilization and adding my lentil mixture, these are the results I achieved. These are the leaves before and these are the leaves after. I hope you find this information useful. If you have any questions or comments, or if you want to share your experiences, please leave a comment below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.